Hello, everybody. Welcome to week 6. This week is uh, module 6 college policies. So we're going to go through that. I have the course deliverables checklist pulled up. We're also going to go through module 7 this week. So it's 2 for Tuesday. So we'll get both of these done, module 6 and module 7. You have roughly 2 weeks to get everything done that you need to get done. So if you still have anything from modules 1 through 5, certainly you're going to want to get those in. So let's see. Going back up, stay right here for a second. Student due process. There's a short quiz that you'll do this week. And then there's a short academic integrity activity, and then a safety, security, and general student concerns, as well as a calendar policies quiz. These are short, they're low stress, very informative, and you'll be able to do just fine on those. And then you'll have a short reflection regarding college resources and policies. And then we'll jump into, so we're not going to spend a heck of a lot of time on module 6. You'll be able to go through most of these relatively smoothly. Now, again, a lot of what we talk about in module 6 may not ever apply to you while you're at Gateway. Hopefully, most of it doesn't. However, if there is the off chance or the outlier happens with regards to some sort of grade challenge or behavioral issue that you've been privy to or witness to. There are ways to report, or maybe your car got broken into, maybe you're getting bullied or harassed. So there are forms that you can fill out. There are incident reports that can be completed. So I want to show you how to access those. But again, if any of these were to happen or you were in need of filling out any of these forms, you may not remember how to get to those. So I want to reiterate that when you go to the home page, which I'll show you again, when you go to the home page, just gtc.edu, there is a search engine there. You can type in complaint form. That'll pull up anything you need. So, but I do want to show you directly how to get to those. You can certainly bookmark those websites, or like I say, just know that anything we've talked about this semester, you can find by going to gtc.edu and typing into the search engine, just like you would if you were to do a Google search for something. So anyway, we'll get into some of that in more detail coming up. And then module 7, there's one more kind of a survey questionnaire for you to do. How much you do, how little you do, totally up to you regarding Grad Ready. This gets into financial literacy, financial aid questions, etc. So I'll show you how to access that. And again, when we talk about any of these items, when you complete these questionnaires and surveys, when you submit any of your journals, any of your assignments, they are confidential. No one has access to those except for you and certainly myself. But I just want to make it clear that with Grad Ready, there are some potential personal questions regarding your finances or regarding some other situations in your lives that you certainly, if you're not comfortable completing some of those, you're not obligated. Let's see. And then the second one in module 7, all of you have completed that. So you don't really have to do anything with that. If you, I think earlier in the semester, well, I know earlier in the semester, that was one of your assignments. And so anyway, that's kind of a more or less a checkpoint for those of you who, or any students who are unable to or hadn't met with their advisor at the beginning of the semester. Um, so anyway, that's a slam dunk 20 for you. And then you're going to submit your moment of meeting project. Again, many of you throughout this process at the rough draft steps have submitted different stages of your project. And so they all look wonderful. And just know that those are due again coming up here in about 2 weeks. And then lastly, there's a reflection journal as well. So, I mean, it kind of goes along potentially with some of you in regards to your moment of meeting capstone project, which could be a reflection certainly of not just this course, but of kind of your entire past, present, and future. So anyway, the last bullet just regards gateway to success in this particular course and reflecting on what you learned there, what you liked and disliked, and what you would change and expand on. So anyway, let's get to it. Real briefly though, I did want to pull up the syllabus. Let me zoom that one. There we go. So when we look at the syllabus, we see that the course end date is March 27th. The grades, and that would be midnight. That's a Monday. So midnight, March 27th, technically everything needs to be submitted that you plan on submitting. The grades from my end are due on 8 hours later. So on the 29th, the grades are due. So if you still have something that you need to do on the 28th or even during the day on the 29th, please let me know. But generally speaking, I prefer that you have everything in by midnight on the 27th so I can get the grades submitted to the registrar. And again, this is a pass-fail course. So as we scroll down, we're going to see your magic number of 585. Now, some of you are approaching that. Some of you maybe have gone over that already. But once you've attained 585 points total out of the 840 possible, you have officially passed the course. So you can continue, and of course, I would highly recommend that you continue at least going through the Module 6 and Module 7 activities. But anyway, that's totally up to you. Once you hit 585, you've passed the course and you're good to go. Other than that, again, the important due dates are really the last day of the class, March 27th. All right, so, and again, if you have questions, certainly you can email me. And if you need to Zoom for any reason, we can set up a time to do that as well. All right, so let's get to Module 6. Enter the student preview. Okay, there we go, that's better. All right, so that's your landing page. This is the view that you see when you go through Blackboard. So Module 6, college policies. Again, some of these will apply to you the entire time that you're at Gateway. This first one we have talked about really throughout the semester. It started week 1 when we did our email etiquette activity, but communicating with your instructors, just like you would do with your family members, with your bosses, with your supervisors, if you're going to be having any issues with due dates, if you have questions about any assignments, or projects or exams. Even if it doesn't apply to the specific course that you have the instructor with, you know, you have the instructor for, you can still reach out to them. They're basically your point of contact throughout your entire stay at Gateway. So again, you're going to want to communicate with your instructor if you are unsure really about anything that relates to your course. But if there are other items, again, you want to go to gtc.edu, go into the search engine and try to figure things out that way. But again, if that's not working, again, you're going to want to communicate with your instructor. So instructors have office hours. Again, most of us are very willing to meet you virtually at pretty much any time reasonably of the week. So again, an email oftentimes is enough, but if you do need more than that, most, if not all of us, are very flexible with setting aside time to meet with you, either in our office or in Zoom. So anyway, that's just a reminder as we tidy up our 6 weeks together. Okay, and then there's a short video you can certainly watch that goes into a little more detail. But again, you know, you started here, your point of contact was your advisor, your admissions representative. You're getting further away from that process. And at this point, you're going to start registering for classes really on your own. You can access your program curriculum sheets that we discussed back in, I believe, Module 2. So make sure that and registration is open for summer and I believe for fall. So if it's not open, you can at least check the schedule of classes to see what you do want to register for. So when registration does open, you can go ahead with that. So anyhow, my point is you're going to be able at this moving forward to do a lot of your financial aid, your class scheduling on your own. You still have an advisor. You'll always have an advisor while you're here, and you can certainly reach out to them anytime you need to. But really throughout your entire academic life at Gateway, your instructors are going to be who you'll be dealing with and working with consistently. So that is that. And then next up is what we call student due process. So notice again in Blackboard, we've tried to cover pretty much all of the bases in regards to these different icons and thumbnails that you see, whether they're videos or images. But these icons showing us this is a folder. So we can link or click the link and it'll bring us to a couple of interesting videos and other activities. So you're going to want to watch this due process overview. Due process, in essence, means we have sort of our own kind of laws and kind of regulation body at the school, which consists of some of your peers, as well as some of your instructors and administrators. So if there is ever any sort of extreme circumstance that comes up where you are either accused of some sort of plagiarism or cheating or something else that falls within our code of conduct, you may be, having to face kind of our judicial system, if you will, within Gateway. Now, let me put it this way, they're not very busy. So there's not a specific department that's sitting around waiting for problems to show up. these are volunteers and within the college system, as well as appointed and by peers, committee members. So they're not, again, this doesn't happen very often. We take a lot of steps with our instructors and with our staff and with our students to ensure that the conflicts get resolved before they ever reach that point. So, but having said that, you may not be the perpetrator, if you will, but you may be a victim of some sort of harassment or grade debacle or vandalism to a vehicle or any number of things that happen. We have multiple campuses across multiple counties. We have thousands and thousands of students, and these campuses are located within communities that have thousands and tens of thousands of community members unrelated to the campus that may end up on campus. So anyway, this particular folder gets more into academic concerns if they were to come up. So there's a report, again, a reporting website that after this particular course, you may, you could bookmark this, or like I said, if you go to the gtc.edu and go to this little search magnifier, you can type in complaint or concern, and it'll take you to a list of options, and this is the first link that will come up. So you can get there the same way. Now, when we scroll down, we see general student complaints, academic concerns, Title IX, sexual harassment, behaviors of concern, student account appeal, so they're relating to funds, academic integrity relating to some sort of cheating, plagiarism, or other misconduct. The list goes on, right? The technical college system, if there's a problem that's greater than even we can help you with at Gateway, there's a place to submit a concern there. So anyway, general student complaints. You can learn more. It'll pull up a couple page policy definition of policies, as well as some other hyperlinks that will take you to even more details. Okay. So anyway, you can go through that on your own if you'd like. Submit a concern. This is the generic incident report or formal student complaint report. So as with anything, if you are going to this extreme, then it's certain that something extreme has happened or occurred. So you want to be as detailed as you can. And so anyway, this first part is you can remember that without any trouble. But you want to make again, photos or videos, even after the fact, if you photo yourself or video yourself talking about it or writing it down, but get dates down and places down, names of witnesses if there are any. It's again, as much info as you can. And then this part, the complaint category. So this is fairly general. Again, this is a general student complaint. There are a couple of other forms that go into more detail. So this would be facilities or equipment, customer service. I mean, if the vending machine eats your dollar for your flaming hot Cheetos or your Munchies or Snickers or whatever it is, I don't know if you'd go as far as filling one of these out. But you could certainly talk to someone at the campus. There are facilities folks and maintenance folks and other staff, even your instructor. Somebody can help you if something minor like that occurs. But anyhow, you get the gist. So again, describe the problem, negative impact that it had on you, actions that were taken, if any, at that time, and what would be an acceptable resolution from your perspective, and how would you like to follow up? If you have photos or any other files, you can upload those there. So anyway, I don't want to belabor this. Like I said, most, if not all of you, will go the entire time and never have to worry about any of that. So, but it is here if you do. Academic concerns, you can submit a concern. This is a little bit more detailed. This would be, if you someone was, um, if you're got a C or a D, and you thought you should have gotten an A or a B. Um, you don't want to jump right into filling this out. Remember, communicate with your instructor first. There is a chance that they might have um, made a clerical error, and we can fix. We can do grade changes very easily without having to go through this process. So, however, if you've emailed your instructor, you have screenshots of your Blackboard grade book, and you've got the syllabus, and you have everything that you need regarding how you are being graded, and what you've submitted and what grade you were given, and how that all accumulated, and at the end what that shook out to be, and it's different from what you received, and you've expressed that to the instructor, and you still aren't getting anywhere. At that point, you may want to let them know that you're going to file a grade appeal, and see what happens there, and then go ahead and fill it out. What happens is this will go to the academic dean of whatever department that the course is in, and then they will investigate what it is that you have from your perspective. So again, just like the previous form, if you have screenshots of your and PDF files or documents of your syllabus, you want to be as detailed as possible. Any screenshots of email messages back and forth regarding the situation, all of that is relevant for your complaint. So maybe it's a classroom policy issue. So anyway, that's the student academic concern spot. Title IX, sexual harassment. If you or a student, classmate that's being harassed or assaulted, or is a victim of domestic violence or dating violence or stalking or discrimination, uh, pregnancy included, breastfeeding included. If any of these are occurring, even outside of school, and you're affected by it, or your classmate is affected by it, you need to discuss that with an instructor as soon as possible, or someone within student services. There's a report form as well that again requires detail, and what type of discrimination, and again, anything that you can provide. Okay? These are federal regulations. So again, if there are issues that with underneath this umbrella, you certainly need to file a report. Next, behaviors of concern. This could also fall if you are doing a Title IX complaint report. You definitely would do a behaviors of concern one as well. So, incident and care team. This is that group I mentioned, the care team that reads through any and all of these incidents and responds appropriately. So anyway, you can go through this one's a little more bulky, the behaviors of concern, because there's so many things that can happen. Now, some instructors have students that have to miss class because of a death in the family, or an injury, a hospitalization, something along those lines. And they may instruct the faculty member may instruct the students, or your advisor may instruct you to fill out one of these care team reports, just so we have we can keep track of what's going on. Now, we don't need details per se regarding, we don't need HIPAA violations or anything like that going on. But remember, we do have student services. We do have disability and support specialists. We have counselors on staff. So there are many, many ways in which to get taken care of whatever it is you need to get taken care of. Now, let's see. Oh, and again, choose files. If there are any doctor's notes or anything that you need to submit, you can do that way too. Maybe this doesn't apply to you at all, but you have a classmate that you've noticed is showing behaviors of concern. Again, do you need to fill this out because somebody seems a little bit off at school? Maybe, but again, I would go to a point of contact person that's a faculty or staff member at the college, express to them what happened and what's going on, and then they will probably sit together with you and fill something like this out. So anyway, or they'll direct you as to what to do. It even has a little spot. I mean, it's got every improper parking, all kinds of stuff. All right, so that's that. Behaviors of concern, student account appeal. So again, there's not a form for that, but if you have account balance or finance issues, this directs you as to how to proceed. And then academic integrity. Again, this is another incident and care team report. It's the exact same one we just saw. You can see there's a student code of conduct spot. So that's why we have that same form. So there aren't as many as it appears to be. I think there are 3 different forms. So anyhow, that takes care of a lot of module 6 actually. So this folder also contains a hyperlink to your student handbook. So you want to check that out. We have hard copies of these all over campus, any campus location, on tables throughout. Due process policy J101. This is from the student handbook. So review the questions as you prepare for the due process quiz at the end of this module. So it's basically telling you these are the questions you're going to see in the due process quiz. And again, when you're taking these quizzes, you can right click, open these in a new tab. And then that way you can kind of go back and forth. You can see this is a very short quiz, 5 questions, 2 points apiece. So just going to ask you some yes or no questions about J101. So again, you can access J101 by going into student handbook. You can, there's a search within. At least I thought there was. Paying for college. You're going to go through this on your own too, but this is the student handbook, 230 pages, student rights and responsibilities. So now we're getting into the J section here. Here's H. Yeah. And then you end up with a calendar. All right. Oh, there we go. Page 68. Take it up here. J100. J101. There it is. Yeah. So page 68 of the handbook. So this little section right here is going to have a lot of the answers to your questions there. Yeah. All right, so check out due process. Let's go back to our next folder. Academic integrity. Again, we already went through how to find the forms and what the form looks like. There's an overview video, J114. Click that. That's going to have a link. Page not found. I'll have to find out what's going on there. I'll fix that. I think it was supposed to take you to the academic handbook. So it's right there at the same spot. J114 comes right after J101. So you can keep that open to do both of these. And there's a short activity to go with this. So no quiz, two-part activity, academic integrity. Identify the act in question, which act should be taken in response. So some of these are a little bit subjective, I would say. I think life tends to be a little bit subjective in a lot of ways. But if we open that link, you're going to find the academic integrity document. And then again, it has a link for the policy there. But this is going to give you a few scenarios and whether or not you think these are violations and what please answer each question below. How does Gateway define academic integrity? So you're going to answer each of these questions. Again, you can create your own, you can download your own Word doc and type right into it. And it looks like that's going to be the best way to do this. It doesn't even give you the option to make a copy. It must be, that's because I'm not signed in on this. Yeah, but if you sign in with your Gateway account, you'd be able to make a copy. But anyway, you can do a Word doc and type right in, or again, you can copy and paste and put these into your own document. Just the questions if you don't want to have all of these. But anyway, you're going to go through and look at each of these scenarios and decide whether or not these are a violation. Yes, if it's a violation. No, if it's not a violation. If you're not sure, you can put question marks in there and maybe highlight or underline or write a couple notes as to why you're unsure. So like I say, not everything is black and white or cut and dry or yes and no or up and down. So there are oftentimes many layers, especially when it comes to academic integrity. Okay, so that's the end of that particular folder. And next up, we have safety and security video, policies and procedures. Again, this goes through, we keep the campus safe. We have security guards at every campus, as well as maintenance and facilities employees that go around and make sure that everything is safe for all of the students. So there's a little activity here as well. You can click on that, scroll down a little bit, and you'll see the link for the document on student concerns. Again, there are a couple of basic questions about campus security and the Alert Me system. It's going to discuss to you having your updated cell phone information and in the system so you can be alerted when there is a school closing. of any kind due to inclement weather or other happenings. So, okay. Then read the prompts below and determine the course of action you'd take in response using the list as a guide. So here are the 5 options that you have: A, B, C, D, or E. Call security, submit an incident report, and these could be more than one. You don't have to pick just one. And again, some of these can have multiple options. Okay, so here are the 6 scenarios. Okay, so just go through and answer what you personally would do in those situations. And then to submit that in the Dropbox. Okay, next up. College policy. College calendar policies. There's a short quiz, I believe, with this one, not the last one. Yep. Calendars and policies quiz. So there's a short video again for you to watch that describes and discusses financial aid dates as well as registration dates. The student handbook is going to have important dates for you as well. You'll receive email reminders continually when it comes to filling out FAFSA forms, when it comes to registering for courses. Your instructor will have a syllabus that has all of that important date info in it as well. Yeah, so go through and check that out. And then lastly, yeah, and a moment of meaning reminder. Your discussion board, college resources and policies, reflection. So you want to, which of the college policy resources and procedures did you find most valuable in Module 6? Are there any you would like to learn more about? So you did 4 activities on due process, academic integrity, safety and security, as well as important dates. So maybe speak to at least one of those, if not all 4 of them. Get your 2 cents in on those. Okay. And again, oops, another link at the bottom for more how-to videos. So this takes you to our YouTube channel. So the YouTube channel for Gateway has even more info. So you may want to subscribe or like or to get this bookmark somehow so you can have access to all of the different videos that Gateway puts out. These how-to videos, again, this is one-stop info pipeline for you. And just like gtc.edu, you can go to our Gateway YouTube page and find all kinds of great info, especially, I mean, we've gone through so much over these last 6 weeks that we don't expect you to remember everything. But as things do come up and occur, you certainly are going to have all of the resources and information that you need to make it work. So that is all for Module 6. So now Module 7. Really not a heck of a lot here with Module 7 regarding, there's less to do regarding checkoffs, but the Grad Ready will take you a good, I would say, half an hour to 45 minutes to complete. I have a link over here as well for Grad Ready that'll take you right to where you can complete that questionnaire. So anyhow, there's the engage aspect, financial aid, payment plan with the college. So it talks about basically how are you going to pay for school and how are you going to budget your finances in regards to that. Okay. So make sure you watch these videos. And then this goes through Grad Ready and how to access Grad Ready. You're going to have to set up an account just like you do with, or just like you did with the Strengths Finder assessment, as well as the Smarter Measure assessment. And with great, so you'll use your Gateway student email as your login info. Okay, so you'll be new to this, so you'd want to hit get started. And again, it'll ask you for your email and as password. You're going to create your own password. And again, you're going to want to use your Gateway email. They don't ask you very much. That's it. They need your Gateway email, password, first, last name, and what your enrollment status is. That's it. So pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Now, if I go in here, I don't know what it's going to show per se. There we go. Good. This is what you'll see when you get your account loaded up. And I'm going to leave that open for a second and come back here. Okay, so once you get to that spot, well, you can watch the video as well. Once you log in and or get all of your info and have your account set up, then you're going to want to come, you're going to want to leave this open and come back over here. And they've updated the appearance that you'll end up seeing something that looks like this as you go, but initially you're going to have these different paths. That spot is going to be under your account details. So if you click, let me get this out of here. So if you click my account, that'll show up your different paths. Okay. And I'm not doing any of those because I want this to stay open the way it is. Okay, so you can see the 5 paths. Let's go back home. So this is what the home page looks like. It has the 5 paths. Now, I recommend that you do at least 2 or path number 2 or path number 3. You can do them both. You can pick one or the other. You can do neither and do path number 1. You can do path 5. It really doesn't matter to me. This is your experience. All of you come from a different background and already maybe doing some of these or already have a good grip on what's going on here. So anyway, you can play around with that. It's pretty fascinating. And like I say, it could take you it could take you 5 minutes to figure out which ones you want to do. And then once you do those, it could take you anywhere from 20 minutes to a few hours if you choose to do all 5 paths. Once you finish a path, you can put in the Dropbox screenshots of any or all. So if you did path 1 and you have that badge completed, you can take a screenshot, save it, and so on. Okay. I think further down is the Dropbox. Is that the Dropbox? Okay. We combined it. It used to be 2. We used to have this in number 4, and then you dropped it in the box in number 6, and now they put everything together in number 7. So it's kind of the cherry on top of everything you've done up to this point and what you're going to do as far as a financial plan moving forward. Okay, so again, you can put in the Dropbox the screenshots of those badges that you've completed. Okay. And again, it recommends 2 and 3. It tells you to do 2 and 3. It's up to you. You can do any or all or none for that matter. Okay. This one you don't have to do. You've already done that earlier. If you have something to update, if you had a meeting between the first and time the assignment came out and this particular one, you can certainly give me an update as to how everything went. Okay, and then your moment of meaning capstone submission. I have this in here. Let me go back to that in a second. Let's that's going to be the end for the video. But before we do that, I want to remind you as well that you have one last journal entry to do, and that's your final reflection for this particular course. Now, you can do two things that you want and will continue during your studies at Gateway to Success. One suggestion you have to enhance the curriculum. I mean, those are just ideas. You can put whatever you want in here for your final reflection. It can be, this class was awesome. Don't change a thing. Thank you. It can be extremely detailed and breaking it apart module by module, assignment by assignment. It's totally up to you. Again, this is your experience. All right, lastly, your moment of meaning capstone project submission. You can submit this in a number of ways. Well, really two ways, I suppose. You can submit it in the discussion board, just like you've been doing with all of your discussions at this up to this point. All of you know how to use a discussion board, so you can submit it that way. If you do submit it in the discussion board, certainly as a slideshow or as a document, you can have those links in there. You can do it however you like. If you're not comfortable doing it that way or sharing it that way, which is fine, most students put it in there and um, they're good with that. But some students prefer to keep it private, and that's certainly okay with me. If that's the case, you just need to send me an email with an attachment of your project. So that's it. You have made it all the way. You still have 2 weeks to complete Module 6 and Module 7, as well as any other items from previous modules. But other than that, you've all been doing wonderfully. And I'll send out a quick reminder video next Monday, just checking in. And that'll probably be the last you hear from me. At least for this particular course. And again, as always, if you need anything, send me an email and I'll get back to you and we'll get it figured out. So have a great week, everybody.